I'm Terrell Conway, Professor of Microbiology and Head of the Department. We're here today with Cassidy and Christina, and we're talking about the Professional Transitions course in Microbiology, Micro 4001. Cassidy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Cassidy Ford. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I'm a freshman in the microbiology program.
Christina?
My name's Christina Baker. I'm from Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I'm a junior currently. I'm of course majoring in microbiology. I'm kind of opting for the microbial ecology option within that degree program, and then I'm also minoring in biochemistry.
And both of you guys have found your ways into research laboratories.
Yep.
Awesome. So Cassidy, tell us about that. How did you find a research lab?
I am a life science freshman research scholar, and as a part of that program, we are required to find a professor that pairs us with a lab, and we start doing research with that professor. And I am researching Pseudomonas aeruginosa in Dr. John's lab, and I am researching the enzyme and other bacteria to find how they work with the body and how each enzyme works to collectively figure out the different enzymes and compare them to each other as a lab, as a whole for the lab.
Great. Christina, how about you? How'd you find your way into the lab?
I actually was taking the Introductory to Microbiology course with Dr. Yusuf, and she kind of mentioned a little bit about her research, and I noticed it was ecology stuff, which was kind of what I was interested in. So I went to her office hours and just sat down and talked to her and asked her about her research, and just found it really interesting. And she offered me a position in her lab to do research.
Great. Well,
so
tell
it
me
was a really
about
great opportunity.
Tell us about the research.
So my project specifically is I'm looking at in Grand Lake how over the season, how like in the summer when there's lots of algae blooms, this cuts off oxygen in the lower levels of the lake. So I'm looking at the microbial community composition throughout the whole layers of the lake and seeing when these algae blooms occur, how this causes the microbial community in the bottom to change. So as there's less oxygen, is one phyla of bacteria becoming more popular than when there is oxygen and such like that.
Got it. So that sounds like hardcore microbial ecology. Are you doing some genomics as well?
Yeah, definitely. It's really neat because I was actually out there on the lake sampling and collecting my water samples, and then I went through the whole process of filtering them and extracting their DNA. And then now I have the sequences and I'm working on kind of bioinformatics, genomics, analyzing them and figuring out who was in our water samples.
I always think of microbiology as being at the hinge point of the life sciences. Genomics, microbial ecology, and it sounds, Cassidy, like you're doing biochemistry. So tell us a little bit about that.
I am researching Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and that is a bacteria that's pathogenic in the lungs. And so I'm just seeing how the different enzymes work with the body and how they affect the body negatively or positively, and how it works together with the rest of the bacteria that we're researching.
Very nice. So you have this undergraduate research experience started, and for Christina almost finished, and with Cassidy just beginning. How do you see that, Christina, preparing you for a career in microbiology?
It's definitely prepared me for the next step, which is graduate school. So I have like lots of experience in doing a research project, and I'm towards the end now, so I'm kind of like making a poster, and I'll be trying to get it published soon. So I've been through the whole process, so that'll definitely help me in grad school when that's pretty much all you do. And then it's also just gave me perspective into what microbial ecology is, and so I kind of know that field a little better now and know that that's what I want to do.
Excellent. Cassidy, I know it's a little bit early, and as a freshman maybe you haven't had the opportunity to think too much about this, but you chose this for a reason, to go into research. So how do you expect it to prepare you for your career?
I plan on going to med school, and so working with bacteria that's in our body, it definitely helps to see how viruses and bacteria relate to the body and how it can affect them in order to learn more about the body. And it just helps because, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, it sounds like you have an interest in infectious disease microbiology in addition to biochemistry.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're finishing your career here, Christina. She's president of the Microbiology Club, by the way, and you are really in a leadership position. How would you advise students coming in like Cassidy how to find a research lab and what to look for?
I think the biggest way is just kind of be involved and kind of take the extra step to talk to your professor or talk to one of your friends that's in a research lab and just really kind of figure out what all is out there. And then once you see all the different options that are out there, you'll kind of see what sounds more interesting to you or what doesn't. And so then you can kind of pursue that and try to get to know the professors, maybe take a class that you wouldn't think you would have taken and you might really enjoy it. And then there's lots of other ways, like going to seminars and listening to other people talk about their research, going to symposiums where there's professors and graduate students there. I think those are all great opportunities just to kind of know what's out there, and then you'll meet people through that will help you get into a lab.
Sounds like you've taken full advantage of the many opportunities that are afforded students here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Cassidy, you're part of a program that intrigues me, the Life Sciences Freshman Research Scholar Program. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come back to Oklahoma State University, because we have these programs that are reaching students in their freshman year. That really maximizes your opportunity because you have 3 more years in front of you when you finish this. Tell us about the process, your application and the selection for that program.
So I applied in early July coming into my freshman year, and so I applied a month before I started school, and I filled out an application, and it was just pretty simple. It was like my name and then different projects that I would be interested in researching, and a group of professors goes through all of those applications and picks the top however many, and then we're enrolled in a class, and as part of that class we learn how to write lab reports, we learn how to talk professionally, and we learn how to email professors and ask them if we can be in their lab and if we can join their lab work. And we also have to interview professors. And so during my interview with my professor, he actually remembered my application from the, oh my gosh, I can't remember.
Well, it sounds like you've gotten some very personal attention.
Yeah, he remembered my application from the life science program, and he asked if I wanted to be in his lab, and I said yes, of course. And so he threw me in his lab, and I just started doing research almost right away. Mm-hmm. And so it was really cool to see that he remembered me and that my application stood out to at least one professor, if not more.
Well, I think that the two of you offer excellent examples of the research opportunities that are afforded to microbiology students at Oklahoma State University. And I hope that other students will follow your example and find research opportunities of their own. Next time we will talk about the Medical Laboratory Sciences program in microbiology. 100% of our students who go through that program find internships and employment in hospitals around the state. Thank you for your attention.